Hi, this video relates to the overhaul of the Smith single action shock absorbers. These are fitted to my Rover 10 and I believe they're also fitted to some Austins. The car's fitted with 4 shock absorbers and as you can see in this short video, the amount of wear was excessive. They were rattling around and hadn't really been working for years. Here's a diagram of how the shock absorber works. This is taken from the Rover 10 owner's manual. This is the lining that was fitted to my shock absorbers, and as you can see there's not much left of it. So to progress the overhaul, I stripped all 4 shock absorbers to their component parts. These went off to be sandblasted just to save me some time on refurbishing them. After a lot of searching, I was helped by the Austin Owners Club's spares scheme, who were able to provide me with a set of bushes and a set of linings for the shock absorbers. Now they were fairly expensive, but I don't really think there's any other option, certainly not one that I could find. After quite a bit of research, I decided to use JB Weld to bond the linings into the shock absorber. This seems to be the best option. It seems to be just much stronger araldite, and it actually seems to have worked really well. So I bonded the lining into the outer part of the shock absorber, and once the glue had set, I could grind off any excess with a flap wheel, and this left a pretty good result. The adjusters had a problem with the thread being very rusty, and one was actually broken. I replaced all 4 of these with a piece of studding that I bought on eBay, which is 1/4 BSF. The end result was that I could rebuild the shock absorbers, repack them with grease, which seems to be my only option. The Rover manual talks about a substance called Absorbrite. I couldn't get that, so I used grease, which seems to be working okay so far. So here are the 4 shock absorbers already overhauled, and they seem to be working okay when I operate them by hand. The bolts that hold the shock absorbers to the Rover were 9/16 BSF. These were very difficult to find. It's quite an odd size. I managed to find someone selling some old stock on eBay. They were all 3 inches long, and I needed some that were 2.5 inches long, so I had to chop them down, but the ones I ended up with seemed to be okay. So here are all 4 shock absorbers ready to go back on the car, and finally here's one of them back in situ. It was quite a long process, but hopefully it will improve the handling and will certainly not rattle as much as the old ones did.